On sometimes, the most hurtful comments come from people who aren't journalists or healthcare professionals. This is the last goodbye from a child whose heart breaks. Even though she was born into fame, the world of Kelly Ripa, the most beloved morning TV host in the United States, has been turned upside down. Her parents will always hold their beloved daughter in the highest regard. And now she has given a heartbreaking farewell that fans are talking about. Whatever happened in the Ripa Consuelo's home horrified millions of people. Everything will be thoroughly examined tonight. You will be driven to hold your family closer by the suffering, bravery, and profound revelation. You will never look at family the same way after hearing what Kelly's girl disclosed, so make sure you stay until the very end. A mesmerizing tune gradually ascends. A video montage of Kelly and her children from the last 4 decades is shown. The Hollywood success story of Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa is widely believed. A marriage that lasted for more than 25 years, a life that seemed safe even when the sun was at its fiercest, and 3 beautiful children. Their Instagram updates commemorating special occasions, such as birthdays, anniversaries, vacations, and pleasure, were greatly appreciated by their followers. Live with Kelly and Mark was a show where viewers could see the perfect family dynamic portrayed by Kelly, who often made jokes about her children and showed her genuine affection for Mark. Regardless of how perfect a household may be on the outside, tragedy can nonetheless strike wherever. The daughter in particular was thrust into the most difficult time of her life along with the rest of the Consuelo children. Attention, everyone, please be quiet. It started almost imperceptibly. At some ungodly hour in the morning, the phone rings. We went to the doctor's office. Dr. Smith whispered softly. Lola, Kelly's daughter, discovered that this change had the power to completely upend her life. When she was a little girl, she believed her parents were bulletproof. Her faith was instantly dashed when she saw her normally composed mother trembling at her father's side as he became dependent on medical equipment. A health scare wouldn't even begin to describe it. The thought that the people you care about could suddenly disappear was a terrible prompt. At that very moment, Lola realized that she might be compelled to say adieu. Warning, warning, warning. Not only does Lola say powerful things, but her voice is also powerful because of the length of time she held back her pain. She tried to be harsh on her mom and brothers by spending days away from cameras and social media. On the other hand, being silent is a chore. The Globe took notice when, at last, she spoke her mind. Refinement and a screenplay were absent from her address. The sincere feelings of a daughter served as their starting point. As she spoke with him beside his bedside, tears running down her cheeks, she witnessed the departure of her most influential male role model. Dad, I am speechless as we part ways. How ready am I? Even though they weren't meant to garner media attention, those comments touched home with the fact that everyone feared the moment it came out. In the end, saying goodbye is unavoidable. Pay close attention. Have courage. Kelly worked through her personal issues as Lola battled to find her voice. Her greatest fear, the prospect of losing her life partner Mark, was the punchline to many of her made jokes. For Kelly's legion of fans, it was just her being herself and sharing her wisdom. However, a valid concern lay underlying the laughter. Mark was someone she could always depend on, and she knew it. He provided a sense of security for their children in addition to being her best friend and confidant. Kelly had no choice but to witness her daughter's father face the same dread she had buried deep inside herself as he fought for his life. Even though I was struggling to keep it together, Kelly was adamant that she would not give in. When her children really needed her help, this became really clear. In the pristine medical corridors of the residence, a new custom began after midnight. Gathering around Mark's bed each night, Kelly and the children would play his favorite music and murmur sweet nothings into his hand. Despite her usual reserved nature, Lola couldn't help but break into song as she sang the cradle melodies her father had sang to her when she was a baby. A few of the nurses in the hall stopped what they were doing to listen in. Those events were more important than any medication, even according to doctors. Instead of a passing moment, Lola's farewell began to take shape throughout those vigilant evenings as a current of quiet sounds, melodies, and treasured memories. The day Lola delivered her inaugural speech to a large audience was marked with an asterisk. The weight of her suppressed feelings was evident in her comments. "You think you'll always have time," she wrote. "Once more, rejoice. We must now deal with the problem. All right, now we can be more specific, but time is uncertain. Please know how much I appreciate all that you have done for me, Dad. even if this is our last farewell. Affection, fatherhood, and the value of family are lessons I learned from you. At all times, I will be right there by your side. When a child leaves a renowned family, it becomes one of the most relevant occurrences in their world. No family is immune to the range of painful emotions that come with growing up, changing, and losing a loved one. A recent traumatic separation between Kelly and her daughter Lola Consuelos was one of these private, profound moments that Kelly Ripa shared with us. No matter how private and personal Kelly Ripa's home life is, she is constantly engulfed by the glare of her morning show and her fame on television. Despite the ups and downs of public life, Kelly and Mark Consuelos have formed a strong household during their nearly 30-year union based on affection, merriment, and stability. Thus, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, their three children, are growing up in the spotlight while receiving the best protection their parents can offer. Even as the middle kid, Lola has never been one to back down or act rudely. Giving fans a glimpse at the strength of mother-daughter bonds, Kelly recorded a candid and heartbreaking farewell moment as her daughter got ready to start a new chapter in her life, whether it was moving to a new place, going to college, or pursuing a particular goal. Any parent who has seen their child leave the nest may empathize with the range of emotions, from pride to sadness to hope, that followed the departure. Kelly was forthright about how she felt about the day, as she often is. Although she found the development she watched to be quite remarkable, she did mention that saying goodbye was never easy. The universal difficulty of balancing joy and sadness at your child's transition into a new period of life was immediately apparent to her audience. Kelly showed a side of herself that is rarely seen on morning TV in the short video clip and social media comments. It was also obvious that Mark Consuelos, who is well known for always supporting his family, was impacted. Squeezing his daughter and saying encouraging things that not even he could hide, Papa, who is usually calm and collected, did it all. The homes of the famous and wealthy still hold great value for human emotion, fragility, and familial attachment. The event served as a poignant reminder of this. Instantaneously, social media was flooded with replies. Many of Kelly's admirers took to Instagram to express their condolences, sharing personal stories of children leaving home and praising the couple's commitment to family. A lot of people have said how admirable it is to see well-known people being themselves at vulnerable, honest, and realistic moments. That moved me to weeping, said one adoring fan. The genuineness and attractiveness are mind-blowing. Warmest regards are being sent their way all through the occasion. Participants also discussed the challenges of juggling home responsibilities with those of a public figure. Kelly and Mark have long recognized the importance of maintaining a balance between their personal and professional life. Nonetheless, viewers can see from these photos that even famous families have emotional struggles. Their profile is being elevated by the fact that fans are closely following their every move and that the genuine sentiment is reaching people all around the world, even beyond the screen. Saying adieu becomes less excruciating when one possesses perspective, says Kelly. The importance of letting children be independent, the significance of enjoying life's little pleasures, and the necessity of celebrating big milestones with joy before moving on are all themes that she has addressed very openly. Fans and colleagues alike admire her for the grace, humor, and authenticity that shine through as she walks the fine line between letting go and holding on. Younger generation. This heartfelt farewell film is more than simply a moving family keepsake. As Lola's story comes to a close, the power of genuine affection, vulnerability, and connection to bring about transformation is beautifully demonstrated here. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos demonstrate that the value of family cannot be diminished by the demands of the entertainment industry. When it comes to providing love, support, and emotional clarity, nothing is more important than family. For the sake of everyone concerned, parents, fans, and spectators, the idea that saying goodbye is unavoidable and seldom easy should bring some comfort. They show that children who have received support, encouragement, and guidance are prepared to face the challenges of life. Kelly and her friends' shared moment of pain is, in the end, a celebration of that. On the other hand, a new bittersweet reality was brought to light by this celebration of survival. With Mark's strength returning, the family had no choice but to face the change that had been building for a long time, even before the monitors started beeping. A decision that Lola had been debating for months had now come to a head because of the health issue. She still didn't want to hide out in her parents' house when she realized how precarious life is. In its place, it sparked an intense yearning to fully immerse herself in life, to make her voice heard, and to embrace the world around her. Here was the second act of Kelly's anguish. As she let out a deep breath, the sudden understanding hit her. Her daughter was prepared to take flight. Not only did Lola say goodbye to a father who nearly disappeared, but also to the childhood home that could no longer hold her growing spirit. A tragic departure that fans are now gushing about. Changed to a gentle, piano-driven instrumental track. The Ripa Consuelo's home evolved from a medically anxious state to a poignantly prepared one in the weeks after Mark's recovery.